Let's begin this video. Good morning. How is everybody? Just want to show you a few things that I've noticed. I've noticed that this is a cap, okay, to a jar where on the jar, sometimes you twist off the cap to a jar and sometimes you don't twist it off. You just have the thing to just lift it off because it's a lift off jar, or the top is too large and you can't take it off the jar. Can't take it off the jar. E or G, which way is it going? What does it mean if it's going up or if it's going down? Is there a different meaning? See the cap on the jar? The world on two different jars. What's going to connect these two jars together? If I filled it with water and the outline over here was metal, I would take this metal to this metal and I would ignite these two worlds from the same energy. Just speaking about truth and reality. So this is what would happen. At the same time, I can probably put arms on this or divide it up and say that's the legs. Georgia grindstones. If you want to look from the top, we get the E world from the bottom or from the top. Incoming and outgoing spiral. If I make a slash, it creates the F. Obligation, that in one area we will have 8 areas that go around, and this is the small part of the B that we see. Where does it come from? This is one area for discussion. Remember, I create the equation, okay, to recreate. Do you notice I cannot go all the way in, and I don't go all the way in? Same separation. And then the larger part of the B. Now we have this angle over here, and if you look at this angle here, what's left over, it shows me V. If you show me this angle over here, it shows me L. The Spanish seem to switch, okay, the B and the V. Okay, L means female and the B for child, or we have the bump for the pregnancy, whichever way you want to go. Another one I want to look at is obligations of what A can do. If you notice, I went right through the center with these. They go next to each other. By going through the center, we have area space. These two squares will keep separation with these two squares. So no matter what I do, I will either have to put it in their own perspective in each square, and this one goes through the center. The top of this one is over here, the top of this one over here. If I bar them together on the top and the bottom, is that where I come up with my capital I? If I create two capital I's next to each other, right? Sometimes we see the extra marking of this. Usually it comes off to the left, right? But if I continue this marking, right, where will my A come in? Because now I'm going to have to make a same creation of this design on the other side. Okay, do you see I've got both sides? So that would tell me where my A fits inside I and I. At the same time, because of this, you can also see I have above and below, and I've now created my E letter. And inside, when I create these all together, I create what you see as 3883, and that's a representation of the church. And it's a representation of the church because it starts with the first two letters. H and U is hue, and it has to do with a contrasting light, or it's up for discussion. Remember, I only create the equation. Putting this on this side is actually this design over here. Tic-tac-toe, C and C, showing me the C, it's showing me a half area for the C. COC or cock. Cock on the top of the church, right? The rooster. Here I have the straight. Notice the way the straight one is smaller and this one is larger. Now if I put the two of them on top of each other, if I put these two on top of each other, let me see if I can go to the next page and do this. I'm going to do it on the same page. I'm going to do it 4 ways. I'm going to do a 4. This 4 instead of this 3, single one in the center. I'm going to do a double one. So I'm going to have to do 2 area spaces. Right? We need it larger, right? Singularity and larger. So when I create this together, how am I going to create this? Where will this go? It's going to go on the outside of the center. I don't want to break the center up. and it's going to go on the outside of the center. And basically, if you take a good look, it's the Star of David. When you have two X's together, imagine a picnic table. Imagine a picnic table. Okay? With this picnic table, you need two of these X's to stand and hold the picnic table up. You need to hold the picnic table up. By holding this picnic table up on top, right, this side and the feet, you can also fold it in if you'd like. We need a contraption that either you can do it this way or what they show, because these are turned, I'm showing you this flat, it's got to be seen this way. Okay, and what happens is we need a marking this, the right angle, holding my legs straight. And I need two of them, one on each side holding, or one on each side, the inside and the outside. By having the inside one, you will create this structure, having the inside one. Okay, well, actually, I shouldn't have done it that way. It was upside down. Let me correct this. I do not have an eraser. So let me do this again. And we are going to go, see, this is flat. It's supposed to catch it over here in the center, and it's supposed to hold it up. Anyways, just let's leave it at that. Then we have the light situation. I was looking at this last night. Okay, when the light was on pointing down, this area of the wall was all bright, but there was no light up here. It was all dark. And the light that was focusing, I want to show you something.